lots of things gonna be happening out here. Holy crap, there's a hole in the water. So what do you guys think? This is a 412 box. There's a cutout there for a big ass port, 10-inch port. It goes in the middle. It's slightly beveled in the back. Back there runs slightly at this angle. Okay, back there. But this guy will fit with this is the top, that is the bottom, in a C-pillar or a B-pillar configuration in my Tahoe. This is my little storage outside. So I got my old mirrors up there, got lights from my Ford Edge, the grill from my Edge is in there, and there's some vinyl up there, some hydraulic stuff, buffer up there, yeah, a couple of boxes, some stuff over there, wires and whatnot, all kind of interesting things in here, mostly big and bulky. But the biggest thing in here, of course, there's a little bit of wire up there, and an alternator, functional alternator, by the way. I've got 2 of them sitting around here that are functional. Anyway, I got this big old thing. I got it from one of my buddies here local, and guy used it in a build and did pretty good in it in a small car as a wall, and that's what I got in my brain. And it's double baffled MDF. Actually, I think that's, I'm not sure. It's triple baffled. Oh no, it's double baffled with 3/4 inch. That's what it is. It's heavy. It's heavy duty, and it's got some mass to it. But I got 412s that'll go right in there. I've actually got 612s total, but 4 are the same type. That can go in my Tahoe. Now it would have to go in from the very back, from the back to the front, and because it couldn't go into the doors. This box here would come out, and that one would come in, and it would sit on top of these seats. It would fit between the back of these seats and the roof very tightly, but it would fit and create a almost B-pillar wall. I'd want it to come out and hit the window right in here, and I'd seal it up to allow room for the seats to have some lean back to them. So I can make a B-pillar wall that would basically come up like this, or I could create a C-pillar wall, which would take, essentially the box would take the place of this box and turn speakers firing forward, port right in the middle, and it would have 2 drivers that you could see. The other 2 would be behind the seat, but I could butt it up against the roof and brace that and seal it off and create a B-pillar back here. Right now I am legally a no wall because I am below the window all the way around. I'm below the window, and but I play around if I'm really tapping it out and I got enough battery power in here, I can do about a 150 or so on tone, maybe a 151. On music I do around a 148, 149, something like that. Not terribly loud, but I've considered it, so I can keep considering it. It can sit there for forever, and I'll eventually either do it or not do it. But I'm throwing the idea out there. You guys contribute your thoughts. So I need to know whether I'm doing that before I decide to rebuild this wiring and make it right. Like I said, it's safe. After the headway cells caught fire back here, I had to go in here and I had a whole bunch of destroyed wiring and stuff. I went through it all and I made it all safe and made it all functional, but it ain't pretty. And I'm going to be redoing all this, but I need to know which way I'm going before I do it, because if I'm going to put the sub in here, then the wiring is going to be completely different. If I'm going to leave what's in here, then the wiring will be different again. So I got to figure out whether I'm going to run no wall or C-pillar wall, or possibly a B-pillar wall. I ain't decided yet. And you guys get in the comments and let me know your thoughts on what you think I should do, because right now I can easily compete in the ASQ class and do pretty well, but I can also compete in SPL to a degree. I don't have the storage really for SPL. I'm only running 2 batteries right now, 2 AGMs total. That's it. But I have got I've got 670 amps of alternator, so that's something. But that's only good for about 6,700 watts of continuous power. So it's on the edge of being okay. I have enough production that my lack of storage isn't, you know, as big of a deal. But when I'm trying to do SPL numbers, you need that storage to get that big kick of power at the beginning to be able to, you know, make the meter happy. So I don't know. I like my setup, but I've been itching to do a wall for a long time. And even if my wall sucks, my vehicle sucks, I still got an itch to put a wall in here. I've had for a long time. And I've also got an itch to completely go down the other direction and make it look mostly stock back here and put in a nice stealth box in the back and just run SQ. So yeah, I'm all over the place. So you guys throw it in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the situation, what you think. I need outside input. So there's my current. That's my big amp right there. That's an 8,000 watt amp, and then that's my old 22 or 23 year old JL 450/4, which I'm using for my mids and highs. Freaking amazing little amplifier, really. Sounds great. I'm using these recoils in the doors because they sound good. They really sound good. Got my 83.5s and the A-pillars and my Memphis M series tweeters up there, and I got my JL thin 10 down here. It's a V2. I don't remember. It's a V2, a 10-inch V2 subwoofer, and it's getting powered by that Memphis 1000 watt amp behind the seat, turned way down. Anyway, all of it running through a DSP. Oh, I found this thing in the yard. I was doing some yard work, and I found this neat little metal cup. I have no idea what it is, what it was for, but it brings to mind like a hobo cup. You know, something a hobo would drink water out of or whatever. I don't know. It's neat. I found it in the yard when I was doing some yard work. So anyway, there you go. I want to show you guys something else. I was trimming this tree up, and every single branch on this tree, no matter how big or small it is, has holes. Here's the teeniest. Well, that can't really see them on those, but all of them has holes like this. Every single limb. Look at this. Every one. Now, every one. Now, here's the crazy thing. It gets even better. You see? Holes. holes. Tree over here, same type of tree, also has the holes. Every limb. Every one I cut, you can see there's a hole. What is going on with that? Here, for any of you animal or plant people out there, I'll give you a look at the leaves. This is the tree leaves. That's what they look like. They look like this. And the bark has this stripy looking stripiness to it. All of it's like that. You guys can tell me what's up with that, whether that's normal. Here's some good shots of some leaves off the tree. But yeah, I just found that weird as hell. Every limb, look at that, there's one right there. Some of them aren't as big as the others, like these are really tiny holes, but there's a hole nonetheless. It reminds me of the vines, grapevines when I was growing up. We called them grapevines. They weren't, I don't think they were grapevines, but they were vines hanging out of the trees. It had a nice, thick vine, and it would have holes running through them. And back in the day, they said you could smoke grapevines, and so we tried to smoke these vines. It doesn't get you high, nor does it smoke. So have at it. Less little tiny holes. Is that normal for this tree? I don't recall ever seeing a tree like that. And I grew up in the country. So anyway, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think. So my reasoning is kind of weird on the subwoofer thing. Most of what I listen to most of the time is yacht rock and 80s rock and roll, some country, a little bit of modern country, easy listening to rock and roll stuff. I don't listen to a lot of bass heavy music, but on the flip side of that, I do like showing off with bass. I get a kick out of that, and I get a kick out of the smiles and the crowd interaction that I get with that. And case in point, yesterday I was coming back from my buddy's shop, and my buddy's car audio shop, and I was letting it roll at the traffic light. I think I was what was it I was playing? I don't remember. I was playing Low Life. I remembered. Yeah, good track at a red light. There was two kids in a van next to me on the driver's side of me. And I just barely caught a glimpse of one of them moving out, and I looked over, and they were both up in the passenger seat, moshing hard to the bass, and their mom was laughing, and that made my freaking day. They were having fun, and it was my being there that made an otherwise boring trip with mom, into something fun. And mom had fun too. Mom and the kids were both getting a kick out of this crazy slamming stereo sitting next to them at a red light. And I made their day, that was pretty cool. Something different. That kind of stuff, and I see that a lot. I had another guy, an old guy on the ride in some kind of painter's truck, and he was moshing. He looked like Grizzly Adams. No, he looked like Uncle Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. He was full on gray, big bushy gray beard, big gray hair. You would never think this guy would be into the bass, but buddy, he was letting it rip. He was getting a kick out of it. And, and that was like all within 10 minutes of each other. And that part of it is what pushes me forward to do stuff like that, because I get a kick out of the interactions I get with people and the joy in a lot of it. You know, occasionally you get some old lady look at you and go, but I'd say more often than not, the interactions are positive. And so that's one of the things I enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy dropping the heavy bass notes. It's just not as much of a driving force musically for me anymore as other music is. I do, however, enjoy the reactions I get from people. Doing demos and stuff, all the same thing. The smile when it hits their face whenever that bass note drops, you know, all that is that magic is what pushes me forward in this hobby. So if I decide to do the C-pillar wall, which is probably what I would do, keeping some back seat available, I'm going to need a 10-inch port from Big Ass Ports, or the equivalent of. It's if the flare has like a 13.5-inch cutout or something like that, that box was built specifically for that port. So I'm going to need one of those, and that's going to be an expenditure. Anyway, you guys have any comments or any suggestions, be sure and put them down there below the video where I can read them and where other people can read them also. Comments help my algorithm, but it also helps me know what's going on, helps me know how to steer what I'm doing forward to best suit what you guys are looking to see. So I appreciate you watching, appreciate you for subscribing, and I very much appreciate you for commenting. Y'all have a wonderful day.